So Ashley is a dear friend of mine, and she is a wizard at websites. She is so on her game with branding and creating a cohesive message and displaying that through your website. So if you guys need a website, this is your girl.
Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about the difference between a website that loses money, that's leaking money, versus one that's making money. What's the first thing that people are going to do before they decide to work with you? Yeah, so they're gonna Google you. They're gonna vet you by Googling your name. And what do you hope pops up first at the top of that search result? Your website. And when they get to your website, the goal is that you want to convert them. You want to turn the eyes on your site into paying clients, customers, and cash. That's the goal, right? This is the absolute essential building blocks to your website. If you do not have all 8 of these on your website, you are losing money. You are losing money. Top one is above the fold, okay? That's the first thing that people see before they start scrolling through your site. Then we have your opt-in, your lead gen. That's something that you give away, something of value that you give away in exchange for contact information, usually a name, phone, or a phone number, or email. Then we have credibility with features in media that you've had or any impressive stats that you have, right? And then underneath that, we have the problem area, what I like to call. So this is when you're speaking into your target market's pain points. Super important, that you want them to feel heard and understood. So then enter you, the solution. There's the about you, introducing yourself, how you solve those problems, the benefits you provide, bullet points, services and offers, the ways that you solve the problems, the ways they can work with you. And then at the bottom, super important, of course, social proof and testimonials. If you don't have testimonials on your site, you're losing money, for sure. You know, we're taught to scroll these days. Like, we're on social feeds, we're scrolling. It is absolute bullshit if you don't think that your above the fold matters. Your above the fold is your first impression. This is your first impression. When someone lands on your site, you cannot get a second shot at that. This is your first impression to really own the space, really show your essence and your brand essence and who you are. So it's very, very important. And it really does entice users to scroll, and it really does create, and see, the thing is we are more judgmental these days than ever before. So we're making snap judgments like that. So this is a real stat. Google confirmed that it takes 50 milliseconds, that is 0.05 seconds, you guys, to form a first opinion, a first impression that determines whether they stay or go. If your website experience is poor, your first impression is poor, you're really tarnishing your company's credibility. So just really think about that. Design, very, very important. So I like to think of design a little differently. I think of it as your essence, okay? Capturing your brand essence. I talk about this a lot on my social media, it's on my website. I love being able to capture a brand's essence and bring that to life. Each of you in this room have your own unique brand essence. I hate when people are so worried about competition. You don't have competition. You are you. You are uniquely you. There's nobody like you. 93% cite design as the sole reason that they do not trust certain websites. Speed. How fast is your site loading? We have shorter attention spans than a goldfish, you guys. It's so important that your site loads quick today than ever before. This is very, very important. So if your site is taking upwards of 3 seconds to load, you've already lost almost half of them. Almost half, just because your site took longer than 3 seconds to load. And by the way, don't think that I didn't vet some of you rainmakers in here, okay? I saw your guys' sites, and some sites had really beautiful designs, but they were taking like 10 seconds to load, 8 seconds to load. This is like a lifetime in website, right? Like, it's just not acceptable. 88% are less likely to return to a site after a bad experience. So it's huge, very important to focus on that. Positioning and content, okay? Brittany actually talked about this earlier. Your message is everything. And listen to me when I say this. If your website above the fold says your title, what you do, for example, business finance coach, you've lost them. It is not about you. It's not about you. It's about them. What's the goal, right? The goal is to convert them. It's not about you. So I see that so many times where it's like, your title, it's like, no, you need to speak into the possibility that you see for your target client. You need to speak into the possibility. You need to evoke something in them, wake them up. It's one of my clients. Her name is Elena Forbes. She's amazing. She coaches 7-8-figure entrepreneurs. So this is her website that we just launched. Be financially empowered. Make more money and achieve your goals. Maximize your wealth, reduce taxes, and retire on your terms. Boom. That speaks right into everything that her clients want. This is what her clients hire her for, because they want to feel financially empowered. They want to feel in control of their finances. They don't want to feel like there's things moving around. They don't have their eyes on it. Messaging matters. Messaging matters. It's true that your calls to action and your buttons below the fold will have higher click-through rates, typically, okay? However, if you have somebody who is ready to convert, who is already enrolled in who you are and is ready to convert, don't make it hard for them. That's like somebody in front of you, like writing out a check right in front of you, like handing it over, and there's nobody to give it to. Personalized CTAs perform 202% better than basic CTAs. So what does that mean? It means they're relevant to what they're getting. If you're using a submit button, stop. Don't use submit buttons. Those will not help your conversion rates. So you have like this one, get your apartment guide, right? So that's a downloadable. You have a free consultation. Bam. So this is very, it's the immediate benefit that they're getting. But now I don't want you, what I don't want is I don't want you to walk away being like, above the fold's where it's at. Like, I need to put everything, I need to cram everything above the fold. No, don't do that. Do not do that. Actually, your above the fold gets to be nice and clean and crisp and to the point. You want to, like I put here, entice the interested and convert the already sold. That's the goal of the above the fold of your website. This heat map is where they spend time. So remember I said your below the fold buttons are gonna get more clicks. I just talked to you about the top of the page, which gets users to scroll, right? Your first impression. And you saw the building blocks before. Each section has a strategy, you guys. Each section, there's a strategy that you need to implement for each section to ensure that your website is not losing you money, not losing you valuable leads. This is gold, guys. Your building blocks are critical. There's a strategy for each one. Make sure that you have each one. You can go through and check this list. So you guys can pull out your phones now if you want. Go to sitechecklist.live. That's sitechecklist.live, and you can get access to that right away. Now, if you go through that list and you're like, all right, my site's lacking, I could use some help, and you're serious about investing in your future and your website, and you see the importance in it, because like I said, you're at an event right now, you're meeting people, you're making connections. People who are gonna work with you, they're gonna vet you by Googling your name. Make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Like, you wanna make sure you're solidifying the deals, okay? Not losing them. So, the second link, siteaudit.live, are only for those people, like when I said in the beginning, I was like, websites that are losing money, websites that are making money. You knew that you were an offender of the first one, okay? Those are for those people. I'm gonna personally go through and give you a personalized audit. That's my gift to you today. I will do that. I will sit down, I'll spend a few minutes, and I'll go through and I'll give you your personalized site audit. So if you have any questions, I'd love to chat with you guys later. Thank you.